Hello guys and welcome back to automation. Today we are going to talk about FindElements by. In a previous session we were talking about FindElement. We talked about how it was useful in finding out a particular element on a web page. I also mentioned that if you do not find an element, then you get an error saying that there are no elements on a web page. And if you find more than one element, you also get an exception. Okay, so what if you need to work on a list of elements, more than one element? What if you are given a task to find out all the links on a web page and maybe display their names? In that case, you cannot go with the method called FindElement. So for that we use the method FindElements. What FindElements does is that it goes into your web page. It scans the web page as per the properties which you have given to it. It finds out all the list of elements that match the properties and it displays it to you. Apart from this, we'll also learn about a new command called getText. getText is used in order to return or fetch the inner text of the web element. Okay, so enough of the theory, let's move into the practical. Okay, so we'll be using our same website called Mercury Tools. Now what if I was given a task to find out all the names of all the links present here? Now we all know that all the links have got a tag called A. A stands for anchor. So what I'll do is I'll use a property called getElements. I'll put in the property anchor, which is tag A. I'll get the list of all the elements here on this page which are links, and then I'll display it for you. So as I said, the first thing is that we'll return or we'll get a list of elements of web elements. So let's make a data type of list. So list, and it is a list of web elements. So web list of web element. Let's give it a name, say obj web elements. Let's say links, and let me say driver dot find elements. The first one is find element, the second one is find elements. So find elements by say the tag name, and the tag name for our link is an anchor, which is A. So what this will do is it will get for you a list of all the links, and it'll give it or it'll pass it to an object called obj links, which is a list of web elements. Okay, so let me import list java util. Okay, so once we run this, we'll get the list. Now we need to print the property of our list. Now how do we print a property? A property is printed by the command called dot getText. And this is to be used on a web element. So currently obj links is not a web element, it is a list of web elements. So we need to iterate to the list. So we'll use a for each loop. So for each, since this is a list of web elements, so for each web element, let's give it a name called obj link, this current link, and we are going to iterate to the object obj links. Okay, so this is our web element. So as I said, web element dot getText will return you the inner text of the particular web element. Here it means the inner text of the link. let us store it in a variable called string link text. Okay, and let us go ahead and print out this text. So system output, and I'm printing out. I've copied all my codes and I've pasted them below. So for those who are new to Java, you all can refer to my code. Okay, so what this will do is, let me repeat, it'll fetch a list of web elements, okay, having the tag A, which means a list of all links. Using the for each loop, I'm going to iterate to the object, to the list of web links. Okay, I've mentioned what is the type of element in that list, which is a web element. This is the current web element as I'm adding to it. Should be obj. Okay, and after that, each element which I find, I'm going to fetch the text out of it, and I'm going to pass it in my variable called strLinkText, and in my last step I'm going to print out that particular text. So let me run this. It's an exception. Oh yeah, this. Okay, let me run this now. Okay, let me increase the console. Okay, so here are all the links which are present on our web page. This can be done for doing a lot more than this. Right now what I've done is I'm just using .getText. There might be cases where you are told to find all the checkboxes and click on them. So instead of finding by tag name, you can find out by common property that all those checkboxes have, and eventually you can do .click. So when you run it, it'll go ahead and click all the checkboxes which are present on the web page. You can use it in any way you want. If you have any questions regarding find web elements, then you can just comment below. I'll be happy to help you. Thank you.